Question number 3, Eugenie Sage.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Transport and asks, what updates can he give on the transport sector's response to earthquake damage to State Highway 1 and the rail line between Seddon and Cheviot?
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, thank the member for a question, and can I just also express my condolences to the people affected by Monday's quakes. As widely reported, there has been significant damage to transport infrastructure in the Kaikoura region. In addition to buckling and crackling on the road and the rail infrastructure, major landslides have taken out State Highway 1 and the main trunk line at multiple locations across the coast between Seddon and Cheviot. Alternative routes are being established, and this is where the focus of the New Zealand Transport Agencies and KiwiRail's efforts are directed right at the moment. Due to the sheer scale of the slips, it's expected State Highway 1 and the main trunk line between Seddon and Cheviot will remain out of action for months, probably several months rather than weeks. Mr Speaker, the transport sector is responding in a very coordinated fashion. This does not just require a land transport response, but options are also being explored as to how we can utilise shipping to ensure freight flows are restored as we head into the busy freight period. KiwiRail, the NZTA and Maritime New Zealand are in particular working very closely together.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Are any alternative medium to longer term transport options between Picton and Christchurch being investigated in response to the earthquake damage?
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, yes, I can confirm they actively are. I think the important thing to note in terms of freight but also people flows, State Highway 7 is now up and running. It's fit for purpose for both light but also heavy vehicles. So that does mean we've got connection, and that's very important. But I accept, I think, the premise of the member's question, which is that we also need to make sure we are looking at alternative options to ensure we have a strong resilience in the system at this time. And I confirm that that includes looking at a number of shipping options. The Ministry of Transport is coordinating this quite concerted effort amongst the transport agencies.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Do the shipping options being examined include an investigation of an additional ferry service and whether that could be established between a North Island port and Littleton to transport freight?
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
In short, Mr Speaker, yes, it includes the coastal shipping options. I think the truth is there that a number of the coastal shippers are continuing to work, and possibly there's a question of capacity around that, but we're looking at that actively. There's international shipping options. There's, of course, KiwiRail's fleet, but also Blue Bridge's fleet as well. And as I say, I think we need to take a coordinated approach that acts in New Zealand's overall interests without any worries or concerns about interests and the competition between these players.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Is the government open to considering additional funding for KiwiRail to help the company investigate the feasibility of additional ferry services?
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
Well, I think in short, yes. I mean, we need to look at our options. If there are options that require funding, we will do that. I think in general terms, if I can make the comment across the transport issues that we're seeing as a result of the earthquakes, the question isn't one of cash flow or indeed funding generally. Through the variety of funds that KiwiRail has, that the Transport Agency has, they're well fit to deal with what they need to in the short, but possibly, I think, medium term as well. It's much more about coordination and practically on the ground, getting the people in to do the work and to make things happen.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Is the Minister aware of any road alignments that could be developed as an alternative to the coastal section of State Highway 1 near Kaikoura?
The Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, well in the short term, I think we're doing the best we can to allow access for communities. So that does mean State Highway 7, effectively up through Murchison to the north, has been opened. That is heavy vehicle enabled and taking freight and passenger vehicles at this current time. Through to Hamner, it's important to get access there. State Highway 7A is now open, albeit with effectively a curfew in the evenings for safety issues. and we're working as fast as we can. There are people there right at the moment doing the work on State Highway 70, or Old State Highway 70 as it's called, from Canterbury up through Culverdine into Kaikoura. The news there, I think, Mr Speaker, to the member, is that's a matter of days rather than weeks or months to get that vital connectivity for Kaikoura going. I think more broadly speaking, can I say, State Highway 1, as I say, badly damaged. The emphasis there will be on fixing that, but also improving it. If that involves some realignments to do that and to make it a more resilient, stronger network, we obviously want to look to do that.
Supplementary question, Eugenie Sage.
Is he aware, and is any work being done on investigating alternative rail alignments to the coastal section of the South Island main trunk near Kaikoura?
The Honourable Simon
The
Bridges.
position there is, if we look between Seddon and Cheviot, obviously very bad damage, several bridges, several slips, a number of really massive Mother Nature made, if you like, realignments. Rail is very close there to road, and I think what we will be looking to do is form a very strong collaboration between KiwiRail, the Transport Agency Alliance, a bit like we did in Canterbury, to make sure we're providing the best road and rail solutions there together.
Question number 4.